Hello, everyone. Welcome to the latest edition of Krystal and Courtney's Career Chat. You are in luck today. It is Krystal and myself, Courtney Ball. I would like to quickly introduce myself. My name, hold on, let me just get out of here. My name is Courtney Ball, and I am the executive director and founder of CMB Professional Development Agency. I also work as an HR professional in New York City, and I'd like to turn it over to Krystal.
Hello, everyone. My name is Krystal. I'm the CFO of the CMB Professional.
Okay, I think we froze for a second, but we're back. Oh, you look so beautiful, Krystal. Okay, so now what you've been waiting for. Today's topic is interviewing tips. And Krystal and I sat down and we decided to do this because interviewing is so very important. It's important because your second step after applying and submitting your resume, of course, it's your second step in the journey to that next job that you want. And interviewing can be super duper scary sometimes. There are a whole bunch of different types of interviews, but today we are going to share with you a few tips to help you be successful on an in-person interview. Okay? So right now, and specifically, we're going to talk about what to do before, during, and after the interview to guarantee success. And with that, I will turn it over to Krystal.
Okay, so we have compiled 10 tips to keep you guys on the ball before, during, and after the interview, as Courtney said. So let's get started. Before the interview, first tip, research. Google will be your best friend. Hop on to the company's website, review their mission statement, any charities they work with, anything that you can find and stands out to you on their website, and bring this to the interview. And you want to do this because it formulate questions you want to ask at the end of the interview. You always want to ask questions. It's very important for the interview to show that you are engaged and interested in that specific job. And you want to keep your questions relevant. So ask things such as, what are my daily tasks in this position? How can I grow within your company? Third tip, dress professionally. You want to pick your outfit generally at least 72 hours prior to the interview. This gives you time to get it ironed, cleaned, anything that you need to do. Always make sure, ladies, cover up, long dresses and skirts. Make sure that you're very, very professional. Again, if you have any questions about this, feel free to Google early, at least 15 minutes prior to the interview. You always want to greet the receptionist professionally and kindly. She always works at the company and she communicates heavily with the HR department regarding you prior to your interview. So you want to make a good impression on her as well. Fifth tip, bring your cover letter, resume, pen, and notepad. All of this is important so your interest in the job and your professionalism. Those are my 5 tips. Court?
Great. Thank you for those tips, Krystal. That was quick and straight to the point. I appreciate it. So just building off of the tips Krystal gave you, let me add a few more. Something that's very, very, very important whenever you're communicating in a professional setting in general, even outside of a professional setting, make sure you keep eye contact. Keeping eye contact indicates you are actively listening and participating in the conversation. And that's exactly what interviewing is. Interviewing shouldn't be super duper scary. Of course, everyone gets nervous, but it shouldn't be super duper scary. It should not be an interrogation. It's a conversation so that you can introduce yourself to the company and the company really can introduce itself to you so that you can figure out if it's a good match. So you want to maintain eye contact because it shows active listening. It also shows that you're engaged. It also shows a level of respect. Think about the last time you were talking to someone and they didn't make eye contact. Or if you were talking to someone and they started talking to you and then they were talking like this. They were listening like this. You want to make sure you keep eye contact. Next, during an interview, especially during the first interview, if it's a phone interview, regular interview, doesn't matter. The first one, do not bring up salary. If you were in the first round of the interviews, that means they liked your resume. That means they want to talk to you to make sure you're a human, that you are telling the truth in your resume, and that you can communicate well. They want to know, especially me as an HR, I usually do these phone screenings. We want to know if you are solid enough for us to bring in for you to meet our colleagues. So don't bring up salary. When an employer is ready to talk to you about that, and if they want to get your salary expectations, they'll ask you. Now, if you get to the final round and they still haven't talked about salary, definitely appropriate to bring it up. Just make sure you bring it up in a professional way. You just don't want it to seem like the only thing you're interested in is the money, even if that's true. Totally fine also. Next, drinking and interviewing. So I read that you shouldn't have any more than one drink when you are in the presence of a potential employer. I actually hesitated, and Krystal and I talked about this because I kind of wanted to say just don't have any drinks. I like to throw them back. Don't get me wrong. I like to have a drink with my colleagues, but I would just refrain from drinking if you are in a setting where you have to make a good impression, especially if you're not really sure how you're going to handle your alcohol in the midst of strangers. Also, a good rule of thumb is you don't want to order first. If you are going on an interview and part of the interview is lunch or dinner, take your time. See what the other person orders first, especially if this person is going to be your supervisor, if this person is the president of the company. Follow what they do. And even if they order 6, 7 drinks, let's say you go to happy hour, you only order one because you want to maintain your professionalism and present your best foot forward, especially as a young professional. You never want folks to think that you're only interested in drinking, that drinking is some type of fun activity for you. Even if that's true, you don't want that to come across in your interview. So keep it at one drink, and Krystal and I both suggest wait and see what the interviewer does first when they're ordering. You always want to show, next, my number 9, you always want to show respect to everyone that you meet during the interview. Like Krystal said, when you get there, you might come in contact with the receptionist at first. He or she may be nice to you, may not be nice to you. That does not matter. You still want to make a good impression on that person because, like Krystal said, that person's going to be talking to the HR folks. Probably as soon as you hit the door or as you're on your way to your interview, we talk. I contact our receptionist as soon as a candidate arrives because I want to know how they look. Are they on point? Are they ready for the interview? Okay? Make sure you make a good impression, not only on the folks that you're interviewing, but everyone you come in contact with at the company. And you want to make a good impression because you want to get the job. You also want people to communicate with you because during your interview, you're also testing out the company to see if you even want to work there. So make sure you show respect and you communicate appropriately with everyone that you meet. And then lastly, once you are done with your interview, and I would actually give it a couple hours, you need to send a thank you note. This can be via email. It can be something short and sweet. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me. I thoroughly enjoyed talking about XYZ. Hope to hear from you soon regarding my candidacy for this position. Great. I hesitated when I said that because when you're done with the interview, don't get to the bottom of the elevator and send a thank you note. It makes you look thirsty. It makes you look desperate. Don't do that. Wait until you get home. You can even send it the next morning. My rule of thumb is send it within 24 hours of the meeting with that person. That is the last tip I have, and now we're going to transition and do some practicing with some popular interview questions. I'll let Krystal intro that.
Yes, so we're going to continue and give you guys 3 examples of questions that some may find difficult. We're going to go over the wrong way to answer the question, and then we're going to go over the right way to answer the question. So get your pen and notepad and get ready to learn. First question.
The first question. First question is, why are you currently leaving your job? So if someone asks me, I'm going to answer this the wrong way. So Krystal, ask me the question so I can really get into character.
Why are you leaving your current job?
Thank you. That's a great question. So I've been in my current position for about a year now. I started there right after graduating college. And when I got there, I really thought I wanted to be a receptionist for a long time. And I thought back then that I wanted to do it long term. But after being here for a year, I realized I don't really like interacting with people and I want to make more money. And I don't like my supervisor. So I'm looking for a new position, and I think this one would be really cool because I know someone that works here, so I know we get along. I know that you guys pay well because she told me, and I'm just really excited and really eager to learn more about this.
That's right.
Really answer the question. That was really helpful, and it also showed that I'm very, very, very immature. That was me acting. I would not at all answer it like that. You don't want to, like I said, don't talk about money. You don't want to throw your colleagues under the bus. You saying you don't like your supervisor, that's throwing your supervisor under the bus. Even if you don't like them, the current employer does not need to hear that because you might be talking to your future supervisor and you've already let them know that when you don't like something, you're not afraid to say that. Also, you've only been there for a year. So what you told the employer in that very short, maybe 10-second answer is that fresh out of college in your first position, you didn't really give it any time to test it out and see if it works. You were very much over it when you realized you wouldn't be getting paid that much money, and that was the most important thing for you. All of these things, not good things or good ways to communicate. I mean, these are not good things to communicate in an interview, and it's also not a good way to represent yourself. All of this stuff could be what you're thinking, but keep that to yourself and come up with a better answer, like the one that Krystal's going to give you. So I'm going to ask the question to Krystal, and she's going to give you a good answer. So Krystal, why are you leaving your current position?
Well, I've really enjoyed my time there, but I'm currently leaving to take the opportunity to grow and challenge myself in other areas of the industry. I feel like your company will offer me a lot of opportunities to grow, and I want to learn so much more about the career path I'm planning on taking, and I can't wait to get started. Now, this is a better answer. Company you're currently working at. Okay? Hope you jotted that down. On to question number 2. You ready, Court?
I am ready.
What's your greatest accomplishment and what would you change about it?
That's a good question. It's a really good question. I didn't really think about that before coming here. Biggest accomplishment. Like I said, I just finished school a couple months ago. Haven't really, I've only been in this position for a year, so I haven't done that much. I know, if I had to choose one, it would be graduating from high school. It's been one of my biggest accomplishments to date, and what I would do differently, that's not really a good answer. Okay, I'm gonna cut it there. I answered that question that way because that's a question that you need to think about before you go into the interview. Think about everything you accomplished, especially if you are fresh out of college, you're new to the workforce. Of course, you have things on your resume, but think about all the awesome things you've done. Oftentimes, we go into these interviews as new professionals, and I think we downplay our strengths. So I purposely did not think of a great answer for that question because I wanted to show you that you need to come prepared to answer any question in an interview related to your background. Anything that you put on a resume is fair game. You heard me say, oh, I just graduated from college a month ago, but that's not important. That's obviously important. That's a huge accomplishment. And Krystal actually asked a 2-part question. She said, what is your greatest accomplishment and what would you do differently? When I chose graduating from high school, or even if I would have chose graduating from college, you might not quickly see what you would do differently in either of those situations. Definitely not in high school. With the college one, with some preparation, it could be a really, really great answer. And you could show so many strengths that you possess that might not necessarily be reflected on your resume. So let's go to Krystal and see a better way to answer this question. Krystal, can you tell me what your greatest accomplishment is and how would you change it? Or what would you do differently?
Well, when I was in college, I was heavily involved on campus. For example, I was involved as a member of the Black Student Union, Panther, and he came and spoke to the students on campus. It was so great to be a part of hosting such a wonderful and powerful event. The only thing I would out to more members of the community to have them come and see such wonderful work that the students of USF put together. So this is a better way to answer the question because you are highlighting something great that you did. Think about your extracurricular activities and what you did for those extracurricular programs. Think of the events you put on. Think of the people you worked with. Think of the volunteering you did. And always want to make sure that you don't want to do that. You always want to say something that would make the event better, but not overshadow what you did and your hard work that you put into it. So that's why, you know, inviting people outside of the community is great. Think of other ways that you could have done to make the event better, but not hide the fact that you are a hard worker. So definitely think about that. Question 3. You ready, Court? This is the last one. I hope you're taking notes.
I'm ready.
Okay. Describe a time where your teammate dropped the ball.
Okay. So when I was in college, I worked as an RA, and my senior year, I was a senior RA. So that means that I kind of helped supervise the other RAs. And during so as an RA, I had to organize programs. And during one of our programs, it was 4 of us on this program committee, and one of the staff members was supposed to bring flour. We were making stress balls, so you had to put flour in a balloon, and then we showed people how to release stress through the stress ball. And one of my teammates forgot to bring flour. It was really frustrating because obviously that's a key part of making a stress ball. I mean, anyone knows that because everyone knows how to make stress balls. And when we had our next staff meeting, so our whole staff was there, not just the 4 of us, there were about 19 people there. I called her out on it. I said, hey, Krystal, you can't leave the flour at home. We need flour for the program. And although she might have been embarrassed, I think she got the point that she needs to remember flour next time she's organizing an event with us because she doesn't want to let her team down. Guys. Really bad way to answer the question because, again, you're throwing your team member under the bus. And even in that situation, yes, it was irritating that such and such didn't bring flour. Don't use that example. That's a terrible example. That didn't happen to me as an RA. I did do a stress ball program, but if someone had left the flour at home, my event would have totally been ruined. So don't use that example. Use a different example where you're not throwing somebody under the bus and you're able to still shed light on you being amazing. So let's cut to Krystal and see the right way to answer that question. Krystal, can you describe a time where your teammate dropped the ball?
Yes. So I used to be on my high school newspaper, and one of my colleagues on the paper, her computer completely crashed the day before her article was due. So she called me because I was the editor of that section, and she was like, my computer crashed, I can't finish the article, what should I do? So I told her to meet me earlier on campus. We got together, used one of the school computers. We created an idea to make the article short and simple. So it was originally an article on how to get clothes for school because we were having some dress code issues. So we turned it into a quick 10 things to buy at the mall. And that way, her and I were able to work together. We got the job done, and we did it well. So that's why I felt like even though she wasn't able to complete it the original way that was planned, because we worked together, we made it even better. And it ended up being a very popular article, even recognized by the principal.
Nice.
way to answer the question, because not only did you mention that the teammate dropped the ball, but you took the initiative to help her. So you always want to highlight how you helped make that situation better. That's always what you want to do anytime they ask this question in any form of what someone else did wrong. You always want to highlight, they did this wrong, but this is how we work together to fix it. So always think about that. And those are our 3 questions. Hope you guys took great notes, because these are the kinds of things that people ask during interviews. Courtney?
Right. Thank you so much, Krystal. This was an excellent webinar. I think that our 10 tips were helpful, and those 3 questions, demonstrating those 3 questions, were really helpful. We also have some excellent resources on our website to help you interview. Let me, if you allow me to share screens for a second. So on our website, I don't think I shared it. 1 second. Share. So on our website here, at thecolormeb.com, here is our homepage. So thecolormeb.com. Here is our website. As you know, our mission is to provide an avenue for women of color to network, learn, and succeed. We have a lot of awesome things happening. We actually just launched a CMB mentor program, which is a mentoring program targeted at college students and women early in their careerhood. Applications just opened yesterday, so feel free to come to our website and apply for that. We also have a networking event coming up in the Bay Area in October. I wanted to also show you the mentor page. Like I said, here, applications are due August 31st. They just opened yesterday. So come here, check it out. If you would like to be matched with someone that you can talk about this type of stuff with, so someone that you can call up and say, hey, mentor, I have this interview coming up. I need some help. CMB Mentor is the program for you. So check us out. Here is also a link to some more of our Krystal and Courtney career chats. This is one of the first ones we did on job searching, CMB how-tos. But I am trying to find our blog because we have a post about interviewing. So here is a lot of information, as you can see, about interviewing. I talk about how to wear your hair in corporate America, all that good stuff. Check it out. Stop sharing. I'm back. That is the end of our broadcast for today. We will be coming back hopefully in the next couple weeks to talk to you about the importance of mentoring. If you would like to get in contact with us, feel free to shoot me an email at cball@thecolormeb.com. You can also contact us via Twitter or Instagram @thecolormeb. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.